Okay, hello everyone. Please go to week 13 and download the PowerBI PDF and also Superstore Excel file. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Yes? Oh, okay. Give me 1 minute. Oh, the cable, there's a cable problem. So the cable. Okay, you are not near to that. So also, if you forget how to install PowerBI, it was one of the earliest session that we had. So please check that session and learn how to install PowerBI. Okay, so about next few sessions. So we learned Power BI through some semi-projects. So we had some challenges similar to prescriptive analytics, which you learn by problems. You learn Power BI by problems too. So what I mean, I don't teach you this is this icon, this is this figure. So we see some problems and we try to basically have some understanding about the data through those problems. So we have a sample data set for today. As you see, is for a store. And they have several sales in different parts of the country. So if you look at the columns, we have row ID, order date, ship mode, everything like sale, product ID, postal code, state, city, quantity, discount, profit, sales. So please just look at the data, just check the columns. So we are going to work with these columns. So if you want to get some inference from the data, it's very hard by just looking at the table. For example, if I say in which state you have the maximum amount of sale. I know you can do in Excel, but it takes more time and may not be very efficient. And also making visualization is, I don't say it's impossible, it's very hard through Excel. So let's say you want to have some investment. Your company wants to make some warehouses in the cities that you have the highest sale, or in the states that you have highest sale. You want to make investment and basically make some building as your warehouses. So giving the information that is available through this table is very hard to make decision. Maybe it takes like a couple of hours for you to sum up all of the sales in each state and suggesting that these are the places that makes more sense for investing warehouses. On top of that, just assume So you spend a lot of time to, let's say, to find Florida. You have a very good amount of sales. You also have some suburban states that Florida could cover, or Texas, we might have a lot of sales. You also can cover the surrounding areas. So some geographical inference also is very hard to Excel. Anyway, so the first challenge is how to bring the Excel file or any file into Power BI. It is actually the easiest one. So if you just open the Power BI, this is the blank Power BI. Very straightforward. Look at there. So you have get data. It could be Excel workbook, Power BI dataset, data flows, SQL, CSV, so on. So even we have a more option. So we want to bring an Excel file. This is for our practice. So you can either select Excel workbook from here or Excel from here. So just click on it and browse to your file and just select. So I also pause after like some minutes because I'm not sure if your computer is as fast as me. But look, we have some workbooks or tables in Excel. For today, we just focus on the order and just select load. Even for me, it might take 1 or 2 minutes to load all of that. Okay, so look at the right side. You have order table. If you click on this icon, you can see all the columns that you have. But we usually talk about some analysis that you want to do on data. For example, where we have most sales, where we have the less sales. Maybe some products you make negative profit, so you cannot sell them. So then you have to make some good amount of discount to just get rid of them. So you might have some negative profit. So now we should start an analysis. Look at your Power BI on the right side, next to your table columns, you have some figures, right? For example, let's say if you hover your mouse on top of them, you see their names. For example, let's work on the stacked column chart. This is the second one. Just double click. It will pop up on the left side. If this is too small for you, you can take your mouse on the lower right of the figure, drag and make it larger. So far might be kind of close to Tableau, but after like a few minutes, you see a lot of differences. So let's open your PDF file. Okay, let me actually, so for each challenge, I also put the solution because we are learning. So import sample superstore.xlsx, which already did, show the sales of each category of each subcategory of categories in all geographical regions. So we want to look at sale of subcategories of a larger group, which is category in each region. So we have Central, East, West, and South regions. Then change the font of the title to, change the title name to sales distribution. Then change its font to 16. Which categories have the highest sale in each region? What is the profit of subcategories with the highest sale in each region? Okay, questions. So first we want to see in which category you have the highest sale in each region. On top of that, if we find that category, what is the highest profit in those subcategories? So I'm using I select a stack column chart. So as you see, I'm working with categories, subcategory, region, and profit. So it just means if I want to work with them, I should kind of bring them into the figure. So as you see, my axis is category, legend is subcategory, and the value is based on region. So let's select this figure, which already brought it. So axis is category. So let's see what happens. Nothing much. And so for the value, let's just drag and drop sale. Okay, so as you see, I mean, the axis part is your X column, and you have several groups. So far, what is the in which category you have the highest sale? Yeah, it's easy. But we also want to look at further in details. We want to see in which subcategory. So if you want to divide the axis into subsections, you need to drag and drop into legend. So you might remember it was something similar in Tableau, but I mean, don't just think back and forth. It might be a little confusing, but legend just means you go. If I want to oversimplify it, so you want to play with the middle of your figure. So look what happens. So if I drag and drop subcategory, where is that? Into legend. So if I drag my mouse in one of those bars, you see a tooltip. In the tooltip, I have category, subcategory, and sale. I want to also look at profit. So I can add one more item to my tooltip, this black rectangular tooltip. So let's just drag and drop profit into tooltip. Now, when I take my mouse there, I also see the profit. If we go back to the question again, I want to look at okay, which categories have the highest sale in each region. So we also need to look at the regions. Before going further, I'm telling you, this is not the only way that you can answer the question. It's just one of the ways. So later you learn other figures, you might have a bit more efficient way of answering these questions, or maybe use just tables. So no worries. And this is not the only way that you can answer the question. As you see, I divided my page in 4 sections, and each section refers to one region: Central, East, West, South. How you can do? By small multiple. So just drag and drop region to a small multiple. Small multiple. Let me make my figure larger. So look, what can we add to this figure? Maybe for each color, which refers to a subcategory, we can put a label. So it's because other than that, every time you should take your mouse on each color and see the tooltip. So we can make your life a little easier by adding those labels. So if you look at the solution, I said pick the data label, and you should make it on. So, but how? So first column is about information. Second column is just about how you format it or how you play with the, or how you make your figures cuter. So see, when I take my mouse on this like paint tool, you see a format name. Just click on it. So right now my data label is off. Just select it as on here. Again, if you get a little behind of me, all the solutions are here. So you can just see that what I did, I put all the steps here. Also look at the numbers. They are actual numbers. But if you look at my figure, it's in millions. So maybe we can remove those decimals. So I expand my data label. And in decimal places, let's just put 0. Oh, what happened? I think I should change the format too. So yeah, I think I did a little bit of formatting. So let's talk about them later. But so you change the display unit to none, and also no decimal places. But if you want, you can add decimals. So for having those labels in the like integer format, first display unit should be none. Also decimal places 0. So we want, but again, this is optional. So you can add some decimals if you want. So if your numbers is here, my numbers are in millions of thousands. So decimals doesn't make sense for me. But maybe for your project or when you get the internship, you need to add more decimals or more units. So it's the way that you go. So far you learned 2 sections. One section here, which is fields for putting your information. Second section, which is format for just make your figure cuter. And you have several options for formatting like legend, X, Y, colors. But here in the question, what I asked, I said, change the title name to sale distribution. Look at your figure, the title is sale and profit by category is like very linear. So tell me, so now I want to change my title. Where should I find it? Inside the title. Yes, very intuitive. So just go title. Here, text, you can just change it to say distribution. You can maybe align it in the center and change the font to 16. Now I have sales distribution. Let's just change it to sales. Okay, I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes if you want to add some comments, then I go to the next challenge. Let me see. Access topic important. category, subcategory, drag. Okay, it's good. So, but it's better to drag. So, yes. So also, this is region, drag into a small one. Small one. Open the PDF file. So these are open. Just drag and drop everything. So for legend subcategory, for value sales, region. No worries. It's just a few, so I have enough time for your questions. Should you be able to create that? Okay. Good job. So yeah, you did a good job. Then you need to format it. So go to format. One format is just about labels. So don't have any labels. Do that. Please leave one. I think you should do it. Just make it on and put them. But these are minimums. So we want to be actual. Now, your title doesn't look good, so go to the title section. Format. Change the text and font. So here you can change it. 5 cents. Okay. I guess center it and change the font, everything. Okay, let's look at the second one. Let's dig more into figures. What is the profit of the subcategories with maximum sale in each region? So we want to find maximum subcategory in each region. So it's kind of some similarities. But instead of sale, we also want to report their profit. Again, the solution here. So here on the bottom left with the plus sign, you can just make a completely new sheet. When I click on it, new sheet. So how I answer it through stack column chart, sorry, through the clustered column chart. I put here, so go to select clustered column chart, just click. So now we are talking about sales of subcategories. So subcategory access, sales value in each region. Also, we want to look at their profit. I think one more thing I said. What else? Oh, okay. I think that could be even enough, but I want to look at categories and subcategories together. So for access, I put category and for legend subcategory. So let's put subcategory in the legend and category in the axis. I think if you eyeballing, you can find in each region, which subcategory you have the highest sale. But just keep in mind, again, it's not the most efficient way, but when I use clustered column chart, so the subcategory columns are clustered together based on the similarity of categories. For example, let's look at these two columns. If you take your mouse on the left one, it said category is furniture, subcategory bookstore, right? You take your mouse a little light in still the category is furniture, but subcategory is chair. So what it means clustering, so it do clustering based on the same axis value, which here is category. So, or in the middle, or this one is, I think is better. So this one is office supplies, middle is office supplies, and this one also office supplies, but the subcategories are different. So you can see the performance of each subcategory based on in each category and sales. So if you take your mouse, for example, for East region, if I do eyeballing, this has the highest subcategory value. So I can say in East of United States, in the subcategory of phone, I have the highest sale, and its profit is about $12,000. It's same in the South region, but if you go to, for example, West, the highest subcategory is furniture. It says about $1,000, and the profit is about $4,000, and same for others. But do you see in the figure, I put a horizontal line, so it just makes our eyeballing easier. So for example, I can see the maximum sales of the subcategory, and then basically it just helps me to find the maximum line easier. So for finding the maximum one, go to a line that shows the maximum value. Go to analytics, which is the last section in your figure. So if you look at my mouse, now I'm on analytics section. Just click on it. There's a section of max line. Just select on it. Just add. Now you see a blue line that shows the maximum value. Here, could you find the analytics section? Okay. So each step, we just go more advanced sections. So we try to just do some very basic, simple steps. But no worries, I explain all of those things later on. Also, as you see, I have some labels here. I think I already told you, so you can go to the label format and just play with the data label. So here I select that data label. Now I have the numbers here. So it just makes your eyeballing easier because you now see the numbers. So again, for number, go to the, for adding the labels, you should go to the format section and turn on the data label part, which is this part. So I give you a couple of minutes. If you want to add some comments, then I go to the next section. So now the question, what is the sale of the most profitable product segment in West region? Again, maybe you can easily say we can use bar chart for that, but now I want to solve it through pie chart. So the question, what is the sale of the most profit? So we need sale information. Most profitable product. So we need a profit. We need the segment information and also region information. So let's create a new one. I double click on pie chart. So legend is just region. The values for sure is same. So now I have the sale of each region, but I want to get the sale of each segment. So we also have a segment column and can drag and drop there. If I take my mouse on each section, I see the region name, segment, and sale. I said I want to look at it's the profit. So in the tooltip section, you can drag and drop the profit. Let's go back to the question. What is the sale of the most profitable product segment in the West region? So we should look at the West region and the most profitable segment. So I think I should just change this too. So I should put the profit in the value and sale into the tooltip. Okay, this is the West region. So what is the most profitable one? This large one, right? If I take my mouse, so in the West region, the most profitable section is consumer products, and its sale is 362,000 K. Sorry, 362K. Again, you can change, play with the font, colors, and also the title. Here, my title is region's profit comparison. So again, go to the format, title text, regions profit comparison, and I can center it. Okay, let me wait a few minutes. You can, if you have questions, add in comments, or you want to review the previous figures, then I go to the next challenge. Yes?
But how do we know the sales for each part of the region? Like now we need to mouse there to see the real values, but how could we do that? Not using the mouse, just seeing the results.
Yeah, I show it later on. Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, this is I wanted to make it a video because last session I have a computer problem, but I think it was better to come in the class. Later on I post a video. I teach something extra, but let's just have a few class basic sessions. Then I just keep adding. But I answered that question. Even in one of the challenges in the PDF file, you see something similar to that. So next question is a little more challenging. Create funnel chart of sales and profit for all the subcategories in each region. So we are talking about sales profit of subcategories in each region. What is your inference from comparing them? I think the second question is more challenging. Rank the region based on their performance on profit over sale, or profit divided by sale. So we want to see if the profit in comparison to sale is more, maybe these are the better ones. If your profit over sale is negative, it means you are in a really bad shape. So you can easily do region and sale, region and profits. But we also want to look at the funnel chart of profit divided by sale. Let's do it one by one. I create a new one. Funnel chart is this funny figure on the right side. Just double click. So I drag region, and value is my sale. So based on this figure, in which region you have the highest sale? Yeah, it's easy. The lowest sale is south. Let's do a comparison for profit. So I double click on funnel chart, make a new one. Again, I drag region to group and profit over values. Okay, but we also want to see profit over sale. Not so, but we don't have that column. So we need to create that column. So look at how I create that column. So I go to the transfer data. Then I select transfer data icon. So if you click on it, it might take a few seconds. Then you see this new table. Go to add column. Add column. Then click on custom column. So if you look at here, I'm looking average of profit over sale. Again, the formulation is here, but so I name it average, AVG, profit divided by sale. So on the right side, I need to first find the profit column. Double click, division, then sale. So after making your formula, just press OK. And now we have an added column. Oh, so if later on you want to change the formula, just come to here, come to the custom column, and you see the last step that you had, added column. Just double click on the added column. Now you can change the formula if you don't like. But anyway, so this is how you make a new column based on formula, based on the other columns. But just keep in mind, Power BI sometimes is very smart to find the format you mean. So here, the format of column should be numerical, but many cases, you also need to tell Power BI what would be the actual format. How? Come to average profit over sale, right click, go to the change type, and select decimal number. So right click on the column that you just created, go to change type, and then select decimal numbers or any format that later makes more sense. For example, later we work with the date column. So if you do some change on date, so here you should introduce it. So, and also it's a good practice to introduce to Power BI what you actually mean. So you would be sure that Power BI won't make any mistake. So we are happy with the formula. We are happy with the format. Now the format is 1-2. Just you close this page. It's asking you, do you want to apply your change? You say yes. Now, so I have a new column of average profit over sale. I want to make a new funnel chart for the average profit over sale. So I again double click on funnel chart. For the group, I put region. For the value, I put average profit over sale. So look at here. If you check based on profit and sale, you might have a different ideas about in which region you have the worst performance or best performance. I think the best is same, always best. But look at profit over sale. It's negative for Central. So can anyone tell me why profit in the second funnel chart is positive, but profit over sale is negative? So definitely we have some negative profits, right? But when you just simply sum them up, because the second funnel chart, if you look at this sign next to profit, so just look at the right figure. So for profit, we have summation. For sale, we have summation. So some of the positive profit just cancel out the negative ones. But here we do profit over sale. So we also have a sale in the denominator. Let's say you have your profit is minus $100. Minus 100 divided by 1,000 or 1 million. It makes a lot of differences. So let me show on the board. Let's say these are my profit minus 100 plus plus 1,000 plus 10. So if you just simply sum them up, what would be my summation of profit? 900. 900. So let's say now I want to talk about profit. Sorry, sale. So for sale, let's say first one, I did over 120. So let's say just even 100. 100 sale. So it means I sold one. It was $200, but I sold it with 100 because I couldn't sell. It was just in my warehouse forever. I just wanted to get rid of it. So I gave a very good discount. For this one, I sold, my sale was, let's say, $10,000. So I had like 10%, almost 10% profit. This one, let's say it happened over something with the value of, again, $100. So if I divide profit by sale, the first one, -1, second one, 0.1, third one, 0.1. Now just sum them up. What is the summation of them? -0.8. Yes, -0.8. So it's the reason although the summation of profit and sale is positive, but when we do take care of profit over sale, it seems in the central region you're not doing a really good job. So is there anyone from marketing here? Marketing major. So I'm not sure where Zoom, how many of them are from marketing, but I think there's a topic of product placement. I'm not sure if I make a mistake or not, but if your friend from marketing think I make a mistake, please let me know. But anyway, so it seems in central region, you are selling very bad products. You cannot make that much of profit. And it seems you need to just give a good discount to get rid of them. So it seems your management, the central part of US sucks. You did a really bad job. But keep in mind, I'm said that I want to look at average profit over sale, but here we have summation, so we need to change it. So just right click. So let me see. Okay, no. Yes. New column, new, no. So, okay. Just, I think it's easier way than right click. So just select average profit over sale. On top, on the column tools, change summarization from sum to average. You can do for the remaining, but here I just want to just change this one from sum to average. Okay, let's look at those central parts. So if you look at the next challenge here, I said it seems central region's performance is an outlier. Export the data to your manager for further investigations. So this is a good thing. Maybe you, as somebody who knew visual analytics, you need to spot the problem and report it, and or provide some suggestion for the upper management. So later on, you can export your file and just make it available through your organization. So if your organization buys PowerBI, so everybody can kind of access, and you have a mutual way of reporting. But you also can basically put some limitation on how people can use your figures. Or maybe you can have different level of access to different people. How you do that? Through the report settings. So you go to File, Options and Settings, then Options, okay. Then you can either put on whole of your, Power BI or just current file. So on the either for everything or current file, but let me just put on the report setting. So you allow, if you look at the export data, you allow end user to export summarized data from Power BI service or Power BI report server. And you can allow end user to export both summarized and underlying data from the service or report server. So basically, now you find a problem, which is having a negative profit over sale in the central region. And there would be a server in your organization that everybody can see your report. So you can give them access if they can extract some information from your report. Here, I just allow it, and this is I'm the only user, but there's no issue. But let's just extract the central report. Just click on it. Click on central. I think yeah. Then select show data point as a table. So now we just focus on the part that has a problem. Let me just find it for you. So look at average profit over sale. If you look at the whole of your data, so as you see, we just have central region information. All of them, my region are central. Even you can sort based on region. So what happens, we solve the problem in the central region. From the figure, we want to export the data to somebody or send the file to somebody to just do more investigation. So on the right side of the table, you see 3 dots. Select it and select export data. We already allowed other people to do that. So you export the data. You can name it as a CSV file. So you can put a name. So here I put the name problem in central region .csv. And I save it. Then if you want to go back to the figure part, so just here on the left side, there's a button, back to report. Just click back to report, and you're back to here. So the point that we don't make figure just for figures. We need to have more investigation. For example, here, we want to look at the performance of the regions. Maybe you have some idea about which region you have highest sale, which region you have highest profit. But we also wanted to look at profit over sale to see how we are good in finding the items that you can find good demands. It seems in central region, you are not selling good demand, so profit over sales is so bad, is even negative. Also, you learn how to go to transfer data. Also, you go to add column, and you have learned with the custom column, you can make a new column, and basically the new column is based on the formula that you add into the this section. Okay, I give you a few minutes if you want to think about this figure more, or you can want to put some comments. So then I go to the next section. Okay. Huh? So your question is how we can add more columns, type of like.
The default is like fair, right?
Yeah, just for now, for today, let's just do everything as default. Let me see if I understood your question.
Like, I mean, the default of this report, just take this column and underneath data.
Oh yeah, later I tell you how to select some columns. You don't have to. You can do your features. No worries. Yeah, I mean, for today, let's just do some basic things. Every session we get more complex. Okay, so the next question: if you want to pick a state for building a new headquarters based on the sale, where you pick? So basically, you might remember we talked about transportation problem, and in transportation problem, we want to minimize the cost. So basically, if you want to minimize the cost, your warehouse should be near your demand. Here, we want to make the transportation problem as simple as possible. So let's say your logic is just you want to pick one state that has highest sale. So I think visualization is easier. So here, if you just want to do eyeballing, which state you pick? Yeah, state of Los Angeles, which is California, yes. And if you see, I also have different colors for different parts of US, like orange, blue, purple. So let me see. So select map. If you take your mouse, it's here. Let's just maximize it. Just make it bigger. So as you see, I have location, legend, latitude, longitude. So you might remember we have something similar in Tableau. Size, tooltip. So tooltip is just when you take your mouse on that section, it provides some more information. So for location, I drag and drop state. No, so yeah, state. So I'm looking for a state that I have highest sale. So for size, I drag and drop sale. So still, it seems California has the highest amount of sales. So if you want to make a headquarter, maybe California is the best option for you. But let's just play a little more. We want to give different colors based on the region. So I drag and drop region into legend. It's in the state of New York. We also have a lot of sales. Texas maybe could be the third one. Yeah.
I don't know what I don't say. I don't have
State.
no kind of size.
Size is here on the map.
Yeah.
Did you pick map?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just see. No, you didn't pick map, man. Just make a new one. Make a new page. Map. No, this is map. This is field map.
Oh.
Now you have size. Yeah, there is two maps. One of them is field one, another one Just a map. So next to the map, we have an icon for field map. So field map just means you, for each state or region, you can have a like area color, not just a point color. What is that? Oh, I just wrote it. So when you click on a state, again, sometimes if your name is exactly state, PowerBI can find it. But let's say instead of a state, you put ST, or instead of name of a state column, you might write, let's say, a code like TOC25. So if you don't have the actual, the exact state name, maybe PowerBI cannot understand. So in those cases, you need to tell Power BI that that value is a state. So I select a state, and again, under column tools, data category, I change it to a state or province. So nothing happened because Power BI already understood the state is the actual state. But again, sometimes if you don't have that name, you have another name, you should tell Power BI that's what you mean. Okay, so next question. If you have a budget for building 4 warehouses in the states that you have the highest profit, what you choose and why? Again, this is not the only way. I want to answer through field map. So maybe map is enough, but let's just do it through field map. So I'm looking at field map. I'm looking at profit. It seems the color range is based on the amount of profit. So now we are working with your figure. So here, instead of map, just select field map, double click, maximize it. So still, I'm working, location is a state.
So state, you have a global sign. I have a global sign.
No, don't select global sign. Field map is
no, it's on the
so
right side, the other people list. You can see the state. You can see the state has a global sign.
Yeah.
But I have a
because I told Power BI this is a state or global format. So select a state. Here next to data category, instead of uncategorized, select state of growth. First, you need to select a state. You see it? I have that. Now I want to work with the profit. I can either put it on legend or tooltip. So let's just put in tooltip, because next time when I want to take my mouse on each state, I want to see the actual average of profit. Or you can change it to basically, instead of average, you also can select sum. So that's totally fine. So let's select sum of profit. Again, let me tell you what happened. So I select profit. What is that? Here, instead of sum, I want to select average or sum. So you can I think both of them make sense. Some maybe makes more sense, but that's totally fine. So I want to find the state with highest amount of profit. So I drag and drop on tooltip. So when I take my mouse, I can see each parabola. It's very hard to find it. So I can make a theme to my colors. So how? Go to, okay, so what is the date? Okay. Okay, data color is here on the format. So now I want to give a function to my map. So the function means you should change the color based on amount of profit. So when you go to format under data colors, you see the color and FX. FX just means function. Just click on it. It might take a little bit. Okay. What field we have based on this? So this time, go to order and select profit. So the field that I want to have different colors is based on profit. I want this one to be sum. So lowest one, I go to more color or any color that you want. That's totally fine. So I go to more color and select yellow. For the highest value, I select red. So if you're not happy with these colors in the palettes, so select more and maybe you can select the red color. So it changed from yellow to red. So if it's higher, red, lower, yellow. Having said that, we want to, so which states you have the highest profit based on this map? Which top three? What are the top three?
California.
Yes, apostolic. So what else?
New York.
Top,
New York,
and
Washington.
So I think this is the answer to our question. So look at here. I said, if you have a budget for building of 4 warehouses, so can anyone tell me this, the fourth one? So if you have a budget for building 4 warehouses in the states that you have the highest profit, what would you choose and why? So what would be the fourth one, you think? Maybe Michigan, yeah, might be, or Indiana. That's also, you have, it seems here, Michigan and Indiana, both of them, you have high profit. Here, maybe Virginia could be another one, but it seems here you have a cluster of some good states. Because next to Virginia, you have some low sales. Next to Georgia, you also have some low sales, but it seems in Michigan, Indiana section, you have high. Maybe, yeah, that's a justification. But the very accurate answer is true transportation problem. But here, we want to have some visual inference. So it's, if your logic is having warehouses on the states, in the states, that you have the highest profit, New York, California, and Washington have the highest one, then you may, for the fourth one, maybe you have some justification on maybe either Michigan, Virginia, or like Georgia could be the fourth one. We already ran out of time. So so for the next class, what I do, again, I give you some problems and we try to answer those problems. Again, I give you also, not for today, but from next session, I give you some optional assignments. So as you see, for some of the problems that I posted, there's not just one way. Maybe you can find other ways to answer those questions. Maybe sometimes you can just make a simple table. Also, step by step, we make it more complex, more advanced. For example, you have some questions about how to make some certain filters, or like maybe you want to exclude some columns, so on and so forth. But anyway, that's for tonight. Thank you very much. I post a video either tonight or tomorrow. I think I cannot post it tonight, but it takes a little time to get prepared. But tomorrow I post it, so in case you forget, you can just go back and check the videos. But again, in this PDF file, you have the answer of each question, so you can just look at them. Okay, thank you very much, and that's for tonight. Again, if you have some feedback about the teaching, just give it to me. Again, last Monday we couldn't have a session because of the computer problem, so I'm going to post extra training for PowerBI later on. I think it's a little soon for now because you need to have some experiences, otherwise you're stuck. So after we have some progress, I also post the extra videos. So for that sessions that due to technological problem, I couldn't have it. Again, that's for tonight. Thank you very much and take care. Bye.